Carney will make us even more dependent on the US. This one is from Pierre Poilievre's YouTube. So we'll see. We'll see what's that about.
Maybe up as much as half of oil reserves, proven reserves, need to stay in the ground if we're going to get to where we are.
We can't meet our ultimate objectives, which is to get to net zero emissions. We can't get there unless we do not just have a cap on emissions, but those emissions are brought effectively to zero.
The stranded asset problem in the energy sector is going to crystallize sooner than people think. There will be a glut of oil, and the wisdom of developing new fields, just from an economic perspective, can be called into question.
How do you reconcile keeping Bill C-69 with your plans to build infrastructure in Canada? Do you plan to repeal Bill C-69?
We do not plan to repeal Bill C-69, to answer your question directly.
Ridiculous.
What we have said.
The society is putting tremendous value on achieving net zero. So the companies,
that painting's cool, not gonna
and
lie,
those
the
who
one on
invest
the
in
left.
them and lend to them, who are part of the solution, will be rewarded. But those who are lagging behind and are still part of the problem will be punished.
So to get to net zero, we need to electrify everything and make electricity green.
Okay. That's ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know why they're so crazy about going net zero. Like Canada's 120th place on the pollution list. Like we're better than US, and literally you have 119 countries ahead of us. So obviously our regulations are pretty good, right? And what's the justification of keeping the Bill C-69 while the Canadian economy is suffering? Like, explain it. 10 years with Liberals and the Canada just went downhill. Like, tell me, what's the reasoning behind keeping the Bill C-69? And let's not forget, Carney and Liberals right now did 180, and they promised Quebec that they're gonna deliver more of the Alberta oil and all of it, so probably up the production and all of this. However, there's this little bit about it. They will do it as long as the natives will agree, as the Quebec will have majority of the votes that will be up for this, I don't know, I don't think it's a new pipeline, but just upping this production. So pretty much they make this promise knowing that it's not going to happen, because not everyone's going to agree with this, right? Like First Nation, they're probably not going to agree. Quebec was for the longest time against the pipelines as well. Pardon me. So yeah, it's just ridiculous, but somehow now Liberals are pretending that they did 180 and now they're all in for oil and gas. But yeah, you heard Mark Carney, and obviously this was some of the previous interviews. It wasn't the most recent one. And like, does it make you feel that he's gonna keep the carbon tax being zero? Because let's mention it again. The carbon tax was not deleted or get rid of. It was just changed to zero. Literally the same way like you can, I don't know, you can change your limit on your credit card from 0 to whatever, right? So what they did is they changed it to 0, but they can literally within 1 day change it back to whatever they decide to without the need of going to the parliament or anything, because the law is still there. Let's remember one more thing. The carbon tax for the industrial sector is still there. So we're not saving as much money, and I mean Canadians, the citizens, we're not saving as much money as we could have. The price of groceries is still affected by this carbon tax. Probably not the price of oil and gas. That was a nice surprise that the oil and gas is, or the gas is lower again. But yeah, it's just ridiculous to hear Carney talking about all of this when we all know that he still gets some money from Brookfield, right? He still has some shares of it. And, pardon me, this is the really funny thing. So Brookfield, when it was in Canada, or just about the Canadian side of the business, they're all about the environment. So everything Carney does here to reach the net zero, his investment firm, the Brookfield, will actually benefit from that. But now, when Brookfield is in New York, like the headquarters has been moved to New York, they bought one of the biggest pipelines in the US. So what are we talking about? And obviously, if Mark Carney has some shares in Brookfield, obviously he's going to make money of it. So I guess it's not about moral values for Mark Carney. It's about profit. Yeah, well, it's that's how it seems to me, to be honest. Like, here in Canada, if we go net zero, Brookfield makes money. In the US, Brookfield bought pipeline, and guess what? If we're gonna go net zero, we're gonna depend on the US even more for their energies and everything, which is just ridiculous because we have everything here. Why do we need to import energy? Like, ridiculous. And you saw what's going on in the US. They're upping their energy, so they're actually able to sell it. So tell me, how is Mark Carney doing something that's actually positive for Canadians? I can't see it. Like, I don't see anything he does that would be actually beneficial for us. Anyway, you can make your own opinion, but
maybe as much as half of all.
I'm gonna watch it one more time, just to make sure that I reacted to everything.
Maybe as much as half of oil reserves, proven reserves, need to stay in the ground if we're going to get to where we are.
We can't.
What do you mean need to stay in the ground? And that's another thing. Like, you want clean energy. That's great. Sure, it should be a goal long term. But you don't have money for that infrastructure right now. So what are we talking about? Just up the production of the oil, create pipeline, and make sure that part of that money will go for the clean energy. Improve the Canadian economy so we can do that transition. Like, right now, how are you gonna what's the word? Well, anyway, how are you gonna pay for that new infrastructure? Really? Taxpayers' money? That's gonna take 50 freaking years. If you build a pipeline, up the production, make some new trade deals, improve the economy, you can have it done within 10 years with the money you're gonna receive. And not all the money. Like, the Canadians will have a better quality of the life, we're gonna be less dependent on the US, and eventually we're gonna go towards net zero. Right now it's just ridiculous. Like, carbon tax money, not gonna fund it. Even like property tax, income tax, all of it, like that's not gonna fund it.
Meet our ultimate objectives, which is to get to net zero emissions. Can't get there
so
unless
ridiculous. So ridiculous. The whole net zero. Like, if Canada goes to net zero, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. We're 120 on the pollution list. Like, we need some other countries to go to net zero. And just FYI, when I was looking at it, China is actually not number one, which was shocking to me because the quality of air in China is horrible. But China was like number 60, something like that. Let me check. Pollution list. World Air Quality Index, list of countries by air pollution. Okay, let's go here. So look, top 10. Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Qatar, Pakistan, Congo, Burundi, I don't even know what that is, Rwanda, Guinea, Cameroon. So let's see where's China, okay? Did I miss it? No. Republic of China, number 59 in pollution. Air pollution, at least. Let's see over here. Mexico 71, Croatia 81, Poland 82, Italy 93, Czech Republic 109. We're doing pretty good. What else is there? Wait, did I miss Canada? I think I missed Canada. No, I thought it was 120. Okay, Canada's not there. France 144. United States 160. So there's 159 countries ahead of United States that are polluting more than the United States. Canada 167, so it changed. So right now Canada's 167 on the pollution list, and we're really gonna pretend that if we change or if we reach the net zero, it's gonna change something? It's not gonna change anything, dude. Like, it's ridiculous. So you're literally trying to make our generation, one sec. You're literally trying to make the life for our generation harder when, like I said, there's no way you can fund this infrastructure by just tax money. What you should do, I mentioned it, I'm gonna say it again, we have a good regulations. You saw it, we're around 160th place for air pollution. So what we should do is, like I said, like Pierre Poilievre said, like conservatives stand for, we should build the pipelines, we should up the production, we should improve economy, Canadian economy thanks to that, and eventually we should use part of that money to start slowly building clean energy infrastructure. Because again, if you're gonna fund it by oil and gas money, it's gonna take 10 years until you're okay, until you build some infrastructure. If you're gonna fund it by taxpayers' money, not only that our generation will suffer, it's never gonna happen, dude. How do you want us to switch to electric cars by 2035 when electric cars right now are twice as expensive as the cars that use the fossil fuels? Like, how are you gonna do it without a strong economy? Because rebates or anything like that, like, we don't have money for that. You're just sucking our money through the taxes without pretty much giving anything back. And that's the liberals. That's been the last 10 years with liberals. So yeah, something needs to change.
And not just have a cap on emissions, but those emissions are brought effectively to zero.
You know, the stranded asset problem in the energy sector is going to crystallize sooner than people think. There will be a glut of oil, and the wisdom of developing new fields, just from an economic perspective, can be called into question.
How do you reconcile keeping Bill C-69 with your plans to build infrastructure in Canada? Do you plan to repeal Bill C-69?
We do not plan to repeal Bill C-69, to answer your question directly.
So
what
ridiculous.
Society is putting tremendous value on achieving net zero. So the company...
That's fake. Like, what's the value on reaching net zero for Canada, for US, for anyone like this? Like, it's not gonna help anyone. We're not polluting as much as other countries. Like, obviously there's some air pollution, but if we stop with that, it's not gonna change anything. Yeah, I'm not gonna finish it again. We saw it once. I just wanted to make sure that that we touched everything, and yeah, so that's it. And I 100% agree. Like, this move that Carney is talking about, it's gonna make us more dependent on the US, because we're gonna have to get all our energy from US. Ridiculous.